Hi, this is Glenn with Crimson Lotus Tea. We've got a Shou Puerh tea to brew and drink today. Chat about it. This is a new one for us. This is That's No Moon. We've been waiting on this one for quite a while. We pressed it last spring 2016. We pressed it. It is comprised of 2015 material, and it just wasn't quite ready after pressing, and so we wanted to give it a chance to just kind of relax and chill out, air out, age a little bit. Sometimes Shou Puerh needs just a little bit of time after it's been pressed to just kind of calm down. But we've been drinking this recently, and it's nice. It's really good. And few people we've passed out a couple samples of this to some people, and sold a couple of these cakes already. And this one is quite nice. And so we can see on here, it's a bunch of it's a very bud heavy blend, closer to an imperial grade. Just a little scratch of a string got pressed into there, not a big deal. So yeah, one of our more popular Shou Puerh that we found our first year in China was made in 2008. They were unmarked bricks. Found them in some shop, and so we bought all of them, and it was a really good material. That was our 2008 Boulong Imperial grade, and it was fantastic, really fantastic tea. And excuse me, we enjoyed it a lot, and our customers enjoyed it a lot, and like all good things, kind of came to an end eventually, and that was probably sold out of the last one of that just about 5 or 6 months ago. But we foresaw it running out, and worked last year to try and do what we could to replicate it, and that is what we have here. So our attempts to make a nice bud heavy blend that would be similar to the Boulong Imperial grade. This is not a pure Imperial grade. It does have some larger leaf material in there. A pure Imperial grade is going to have to be nearly the entire thing is buds, and a pure Imperial grade tea sometimes is a little lacking. Sometimes you need that larger leaf material in there just to give it a little bit of depth. The buds can sometimes be a little too astringent, even in a Shou Puerh, which might be surprising. But what we do is I like to mix it in with some larger leaves, and the larger leaves also offer a little bit of depth and a sweetness that gets balanced in there, which is nice to have. So yeah, we were excited to finally have this one ready for sale. It's always a little awkward when you make a product and then you can't sell it for maybe like a year. So this one's definitely ready to go, ready to sell now, and it's actually quite nice. Give a little wash for the tea pads. The aroma is nice and earthy, maybe just hints of marzipan or almond paste, whatever. It's nice though. It's not. It doesn't have an overpowering aroma. There's no fishy flavors. There's no woadway aromas that are still left in this tea. This tea is good to go. The Shou Puerh blends that have more buds in them will brew up a lot darker, a lot quicker. The buds really give they give a lot at the very beginning. Because of that, bud heavy Shou Puerh blends generally don't steep much past 10 or so. I mean, you definitely can, but if it gets really light and it gets a lot, it does get a lot sweeter after those first 10 steeps. But if you like a Shou Puerh that's like got a lot of punch to it, it's really thick and viscous. The bud heavy blends, the imperial grade blends, will offer that in the first couple steepings, which is really nice. A little bit more of that nutty marzipan aroma coming out now. So you guys should post in the comments below what you like about Shou Puerh. I know what I like about Shou Puerh. I like a Shou Puerh that does brew thick, dark, earthy. I love those petrichor aromas. If you're native to the Pacific Northwest, or if you've ever been up here, the mountains in and around the Pacific Northwest after the rain are just lush, and they have the most incredible aromas. And Shou Puerh a lot of the time smells just like that, which is really it's really nice. It's nice when you can have a tea that is so evocative of memories. For me, the real thing, the very first memory that was really deeply tied to Shou Puerh is this mineral aroma that you get in some Shou Puerh is something like Cloudy Days or our Kunlu Tribute Tea. That really heavy that heavy mineral note for me is really, it just it reminds me of when I was a kid at summer camp in the North Georgia mountains. Something about that limestone caves and those shale floored forests. The aromas are right there, and that's definitely it's nice to be able to drink something and bring back memories of something that you may have forgotten. If Shou Puerh has any specific memories for you, mention that in the comments below. I always like to hear how what these teas do for other people. It's interesting how closely tied our sense of smell and taste is to memory. I've had different customers relate different experiences from their childhood, and they're always able to sample different teas and have it bring back different memories. So if there's special memories for you that are tied to the teas you drink, mention it in the comments below. It's always fun to have that feedback. All right, 2 washes. It's nice. The leaves are opened up. We got some brewing stuff going on here, and it is not super dark, but it is certainly dark. It's actually kind of got a nice, even like a dark amber, subtle crimson. You can I'm not sure if you can actually see through it with the light there, but here's one really nice thing about silver teacups. Silver teacups just make everything just look. We're gonna see how well that looks on the close-up camera there. Light just bounces straight through a silver cup, or straight off of the bottom, reflects right off of the bottom. Just makes any tea you put in there super vibrant. It's really kind of cool to see that. Little tiny stick, not a problem. This is another Shou Puerh on the smoother end, but it also has. It's not as I wouldn't describe it as smooth as Cloudy Days. There is that hint of astringency, even just a scratch of bitterness that you get because it's a bud heavy blend. And it's the exact same thing, same experience that we had from our 2008 Boulang Imperial grade, and it's nice. It offers a little bit of a balance, a little something extra for your palate. I'm gonna start up the water. Yeah, we're pretty excited for this tea to come out. Like I said, we've had it pressed for a year now. Just kind of waiting on it. Every month I'll pull out a cake, break a little bit off, try it. We've stored all these in Seattle, So the first part of their storage, they were stored in Kunming for about 5 or 6 months. I like a little bit of a dry storage right after especially for Shou Puerh, right after Shou Puerh has been pressed. I like it to be stored in a little bit of a drier climate to begin with. It helps to kind of mellow out some of those flavors. But after that, I think there's a definite advantage to having a little bit more of a humid storage for Shou Puerh. It can really just kind of give it an extra kick, kind of wakes it up. And so, yeah, for about the first half a year after this was pressed, it was stored in Kunming, and now it's been stored in Seattle since we had it shipped back, and it's really nice. We'll see this next steeping if it gets much darker. It should. Yeah, just slightly nutty, a little bit of a hint of a marzipan type thing. I do, even for Shou Puerh, pretty much any puerh, I like the water to be boiling, or as close to boiling as possible. I think the teas really have a lot to give, and when you give it that extra oomph is when you can really start to pull out everything that they have. And it's nice to be able to control the experience with a Gong Fu style brewing setup, because you can very quickly like turn the steeps on and off. You pour it out and its steeping is done. So it really lets you pull as much as you possibly can out in just a quick short steep. Yeah, this one's much darker. It'll keep this level of darkness for probably about the first 6 to 8 steeps, and then it'll start to slowly lighten up and get sweeter. That's usually where Lamu likes to come in on the tastings. She likes it after it's just a little bit clearer, a little bit sweeter, a little bit for the tea pets here. And I find that that's a common thing in Yunnan as well. A lot of the tea tastings that we go to when we're looking for some new Shou Puerh material, a lot of people like to brew it really light, so it almost looks like pale, like a red tea or something. So we always have to take the material, brew it ourselves to really kind of see what it can do. And that level of consistency is important when you're looking for quality in tea. Never take somebody else's steeping at face value. I can take a tea and I can make it taste 5 different ways depending on how I steep it. And if you really want to know what a tea can do, then you need to construct a reliable set of brewing tools, so to say, in your own arsenal to be able to have a reliability. And then if you take the experiences that you have, then you can analyze a tea at an individual level without worrying about whether somebody else's brewing skill is making a tea better than it is. We won't purchase any tea material until I've spent a significant amount of time with it myself. This kind of helps us make sure that what we're getting is actually worth selling. This is nice. It still has a little bit of that astringency, just a hints of bitterness on there, but it offers a nice balance. It's very clean, brews really clean, and it's very nice to drink. And yeah, if you guys have had a chance, I know some of you have tried this tea already. That's No Moon. If you have, post in the comments below. Let me know what you think of it. And if you guys have any ideas about future videos, let me know, and we'll try to put something together for you. Thanks a lot. Happy steeping.